The tuck front lever is one of the best exercises we can do on the road to learning the full front lever. But in order to make sure we do them in the most effective way to get us to the onward front lever progressions, there are cues that we must be cognizant of and mistakes we must avoid. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Tuck front lever tutorial, let's get into it. How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Diving straight into it, even though the tuck front lever is a regression of the front lever proper, it can still represent an intimidating and significant challenge. So in order to give ourselves the best start, I would highly recommend that we get ourselves to a place where we can perform at least 5 pull-ups, as well as 10 bodyweight rows at a 45-degree incline at least, preferably pulling towards the midriff. Assuming we have all of that in hand though, let's start by understanding how to get into the tuck front lever position in the first place. My recommendation is that you begin by trying the tuck front lever on a low bar to begin with. This not only ensures you spend less energy getting into the tuck front lever, but it also reduces any apprehension you may have about falling from the bar. From here, we can enter the tuck front lever in one of 2 ways. Sitting, hands holding the bar and pulling yourself into a tuck front lever, not too dissimilar to a hanging knee raise actually, or jumping into an inverted position and lowering ourselves down. I personally find the latter the easier entry of the 2, but do what works for you. In order to get our heads around correct form, there are 3 cues that we really need to be mindful of. Do these 3 things right, and for the most part, your tuck front lever will end up perfect. The first cue is that we're looking for straight arms. The front lever is first and foremost a straight arm skill, and however tempting it may be to bend the arms, one of the main benefits of the tuck front lever is that it helps us understand how to pull with straight arms. So we need to be disciplined here, and I find that by visualizing, squeezing the elbows together, we not only make it easier to keep the arms straight, but we drive more engagement from the lats. The second cue is to do with shoulder position, and as much as the front lever looks like a core intensive skill, and to be fair, it is, the bulk of the demands are actually placed on the shoulder. I'd go as far as arguing that the whole point of any tuck variation of any calisthenic skill is to get an understanding of good shoulder positioning. And in the tuck front lever, we're looking for our shoulders to be depressed and retracted. Now, with the full weight of our bodies bearing down on our shoulders, achieving full retraction will actually be very, very difficult. But the goal isn't to maintain full retraction. And actually, we can see that in the full front lever, the scaps actually look protracted, if anything. The important thing here is intentionality. We need to be aiming for retraction and depression at the scapula, which will give us that strong base in the shoulders from which we can pull from. You may find that when focusing on this, we're tempted to jut our neck out. So instead, try to focus on pushing your chin into your neck. The third cue to keep in mind is that we want our shoulders and our hips to be in line. If our tuck front lever looks like this, then we need to go back to the drawing board. Again, and I cannot stress this enough, the tuck front lever is all about building up those good habits that will support us in the front lever proper. And so we want to see that straight line from shoulders to hips. When we start out, this may mean that we really need to tuck the knees in and round the back. This is actually fine as long as we're following cues 1 and 2, because as we get strong enough to bring the legs out more, the back will flatten and start to adopt more of that neutral line that we see in the front lever proper. In terms of regressions, I would highly advise against the banded tuck front lever, because if you struggle to do the tuck front lever, this is more of an indication to focus on pull-ups, preferably hollow body pull-ups, and inverted rows, and doing those would be a better use of time. In terms of progressions, and once you can hold a tuck front lever for about 20 seconds, the most obvious progression is to start sticking the legs out. By doing this, we lengthen the lever arm, meaning that the shoulders have to resist more of that downward force. But there are also a myriad of exercises that we can use to either progress or pair with the tuck front lever to take us to that next level. We can start to entertain the tuck front lever row, which also doubles as a great progression to the inverted row. We can introduce dragon flags and variations of the knee raise to improve how good we are at resisting trunk extension. And we can introduce the tuck front lever raise, which will give us a wider array of strength as we look to take that shoulder through a larger range of motion than the tuck front lever isometric. Crowd, use these tips as you get started on your front lever journey, but if you want to see what I'm doing in order to master the full front lever, then check out this video right here.